You know that heavy feeling in your chest after every argument, the one where you wonder, is it me? Am I the problem? You might be experiencing emotional abuse without even knowing. You're not imagining it. You're not too emotional. And no, you're definitely not the problem. Emotional abuse is one of the most silent forms of harm because it hides in everyday moments. A joke that cuts too deep, a cold shoulder that lasts too long, a simple question that suddenly becomes a reason to blame you. In this video, we're going to break down 14 subtle signs of emotional abuse, the ones most people overlook until they feel completely drained, confused, or disconnected from who they used to be. By the end, you'll understand why these patterns happen, how they affect your mind, and most importantly, how to recognize them early. Take a breath. Let's walk through this together, one sign at a time. 1. They blame you for everything. It usually starts small. They snap at you after a long day, and somehow it turns into your fault. Maybe you made them angry, or said it the wrong way, or should have known better. Soon you find yourself apologizing for things you didn't even do, just to keep the peace. Here's the truth. Blaming is not a mistake. It's a tactic, a way to avoid responsibility while training you to carry all the weight of the relationship. They forget your anniversary. Instead of owning it, they say, well, you should have reminded me, turning their failure into your guilt. But why does this feel so convincing, even when you know it's unfair? Blamers often use confusion as a weapon. The more uncertain you feel, the easier it is for them to stay in control. And once you're used to absorbing the blame, the next sign becomes even harder to recognize. 2. You avoid certain topics because you're scared of their reaction. This one doesn't show up overnight. It grows quietly. Every time you try to bring something up and they shut you down, roll their eyes, or get irritated out of nowhere, soon you start editing yourself. You avoid mentioning things that matter to you because you already know how the fight will end. You want to talk about something simple, like how you felt ignored at dinner. But the moment you open your mouth, they sigh loudly, raise their eyebrows, or say, "Here we go again." So you swallow your feelings, and they learn that silence works. Avoiding topics is more than discomfort. It's fear in disguise. But why do you stay quiet even when the silence hurts you? Your brain tries to protect you by choosing the less painful option. When someone punishes you emotionally for speaking up, your mind learns that staying silent feels safer, even when it slowly erases who you are. And once silence becomes a habit, the next sign becomes almost impossible to ignore. 3. They control how you act, but call it helping. This one often feels harmless at first. They comment on what you wear, how you talk, who you spend time with, but always with a soft tone. I'm just trying to help. I care about you, that's all. And because you want to believe the best, you don't notice how slowly your freedom shrinks. You dress up for a night out with friends, feeling good about yourself. They look you up and down and say, "Are you sure that outfit suits you? I mean, I'm just being honest." Now you're changing clothes, not because you want to, but because you want to avoid their judgment. Control wrapped in concern is still control. But why does this type of control feel so easy to fall for? Emotional abusers often disguise control as protection because it triggers guilt, not resistance. When someone convinces you they know what's best for you, you stop trusting your own choices. And once they shape how you act, the next sign shapes what you're allowed to do. 4, they change your plans without asking. At first, it looks like spontaneity, a surprise visit, an unexpected phone call telling you to come with them instead. But over time, you notice a pattern. Their plans matter, yours don't. You've been excited all week to meet your friends. You're almost ready when they suddenly show up and say, "Let's go somewhere, I cleared my schedule for you." If you hesitate, they act hurt. "I'm trying to spend time with you. Why are you making this difficult?" So you cancel your plans. Again, this isn't romance. It's control disguised as connection. But why do you keep giving in even when it drains you? People who do this often reward you only when you choose them over others. Your brain starts linking avoiding conflict with being loved, creating a subtle emotional dependency. And once they control your plans, the next sign hits even deeper: your emotions. 5, they're warm one moment and ice cold the next. This is one of the most confusing forms of emotional abuse because it feels like trying to hug someone who keeps disappearing. One day, they're attentive, sweet, affectionate. The next, they're distant, irritated, or completely shut off. With no explanation, you message them something kind. "I miss you today." Yesterday, they replied instantly. Today, they leave you on scene for hours. When you ask if something's wrong, they say, "Why are you overthinking? I'm fine." But the tone feels different. Your chest gets heavy, and suddenly you're questioning every word you said. Unpredictability isn't random, it's destabilizing. But why does inconsistency make you want their affection even more? Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. When love becomes unpredictable, your brain works even harder to win back the good moments. And that's exactly how emotional dependence forms. And once they can pull your emotions like a switch, the next sign shows how they use words as weapons. 6, they say hurtful things, then laugh it off as just a joke. This one hits hard because it's disguised as humor. They make a comment that cuts deep about your appearance, your intelligence, your insecurities. And when your face falls, they smirk and say, "Relax, I'm just kidding. You're too sensitive." You finally feel confident in something, your outfit, your project at work, even your cooking. And they throw out a quick sting. "Wow, you tried your best, I guess." Everyone laughs. You smile too, even though your stomach drops. And later, when you bring it up, they respond, "You're seriously upset about that? You need to lighten up." This isn't humor, it's humiliation with a punchline. But why does this kind of joke linger in your mind long after they forget it? Jokes allow abusers to test boundaries without consequences. If you react, they say you're dramatic. If you stay quiet, they learn they can go further. Either way, the joke lands on your self-worth, not theirs. And once words start wounding you, the next sign shows how they make you responsible for their expectations. 7, they expect you to read their mind. This is one of the most exhausting parts of emotional abuse, because no matter what you do, it's never quite right. They want something, need something, feel something, but they never actually say it. Instead, they leave clues, hints, or cold silence, waiting for you to guess correctly. They come home upset. You ask gently, "What's wrong?" They shrug and reply, "Nothing." But the tension fills the room. Later, they accuse you. You should have known. I can't believe you didn't notice. And suddenly, their unspoken expectations become your failure. This isn't communication. It's emotional booby-trapping. But why do you keep trying harder, even when the rules are impossible to follow? When someone makes you responsible for their hidden emotions, your brain enters appease mode, constantly scanning for signs of danger. It turns you into a caretaker, not a partner, and once guessing becomes a daily habit, the next sign reveals how they erase your feelings entirely. 8. They ignore your feelings and tell you you're too sensitive. This one hurts because it makes you question your own emotional reality. You share something vulnerable, something that bothered you, confused you, or made you feel small, and instead of listening, they brush it off. Why are you making such a big deal? You're overreacting. You're too emotional. You tell them that a comment they made embarrassed you in front of friends. They respond with a cold shrug. Seriously? That's what you're upset about? And suddenly, instead of talking about their behavior, the conversation becomes about how difficult or dramatic you are. This tactic is powerful because it replaces your truth with theirs. But why does this kind of dismissal slowly erase your confidence? When your feelings are repeatedly minimized, your brain starts to doubt its own signals. You stop trusting your instincts. You silence discomfort. And that's exactly what abuse needs to survive your self-doubt. And once your feelings don't matter, the next sign shows how they rewrite the past itself. 9. They gaslight you, making you doubt your own reality. Gaslighting doesn't start with big lies. It begins with tiny twists. Moments where they rewrite what happened, deny what they said, or tell you your memory's wrong, and after a while, you start believing them more than you believe yourself. You clearly remember them promising something, a plan, a conversation, a rule you both agreed on, but when you bring it up later, they respond with, "I never said that." You're imagining things. Wow. You really remember things wrong. Even when you know the truth, doubt creeps in. You think, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it was my fault. That's exactly how gaslighting works. It disconnects you from your inner compass. But why is this tactic so effective, even on smart, self-aware people? Gaslighting works because it attacks your sense of reality, not your intelligence. When someone close to you repeatedly contradicts your memory, your brain prioritizes the relationship over the truth. You choose connection over clarity and slowly lose trust in yourself. And once they can rewrite the past, the next sign reveals how they manipulate the present in front of others. 10. They act like a different person when others are around. This sign is confusing because you feel like you're living with two versions of the same person. In private, they may be cold, dismissive, or irritated by everything you do. But the moment someone else walks in, friends, family, coworkers, they switch personalities like flipping a light. Suddenly, they're charming, attentive, thoughtful, almost the person you wish they were all the time. You've been feeling ignored for days, but at a family gathering, they wrap an arm around you and say, "She means the world to me." Everyone thinks you're the lucky one, and you're left wondering, so why don't they treat me like this when we're alone? This split behavior is not accidental, it's strategic. But why does this double life make you stay even longer? When someone treats you kindly only in public, your brain clings to that version of them. You tell yourself, that's the real them. and excuse the private cruelty as stress or a bad day. It keeps you trapped in hope, not reality. And once they can control how others see them, the next sign shows how they weaponize love itself. 11. Their love is conditional, only available when you obey. Real love stays steady even when things get hard. Conditional love, however, feels like walking a tightrope. One wrong move, one disagreement, one moment where you express a need, and suddenly they pull their affection away. You disagree with them, calmly, respectfully, but instead of talking it out, they snap. You know what? I don't even love you when you act like this. It hits you like a punch. Later, when you apologize for simply having an opinion, they return the affection. See, now you're being normal again. This isn't love, it's emotional blackmail disguised as passion. But why does this make you try even harder to be better? When someone gives and takes love based on your compliance, your brain links self-worth to pleasing them. It creates a loop where you chase their approval, even when it hurts you. And that's exactly how emotional abusers establish complete control. And once your worth depends on their mood, the next sign shows how they tear down your achievements too. 12. They downplay or ignore your accomplishments. Healthy partners celebrate your wins. Emotionally abusive partners fear them. When you achieve something meaningful, no matter how small, they respond with indifference, sarcasm, or a casual shrug that feels like a slap. You tell them you got praised at work. You're excited, smiling, hoping they'll be proud of you. But they barely look up and say, okay, but it's not like it's a big deal. Anyone could do that. The joy drains out of you instantly, and the worst part, you start questioning whether your achievement was ever worth celebrating. This isn't humility, it's sabotage. But why do they feel threatened by your progress? Emotional abusers often rely on you feeling small. Your confidence is a threat because confident people are harder to control. So they chip away at your pride, one minimized achievement at a time, until you no longer feel capable of standing on your own. And once they diminish your successes, the next sign reveals how they make you feel like you're never doing enough. 13. They imply you're not helpful to keep you dependent. This sign often arrives disguised as advice. They question your decisions, doubt your abilities, or point out what you should have done better. Slowly, they make you feel incapable, like you can't trust yourself, like you always need their guidance. You try to solve a small problem on your own, fixing something, planning something, handling something at work. Instead of encouragement, they respond with, "Why would you do it that way?" Or, "See, this is why you need me. You always mess things up." After hearing it enough times, you stop trying. Not because you can't do things, but because they've convinced you that you'll fail without them. This is not support, it's strategic disempowerment. But why does this tactic work so well, even on strong, independent people? When someone repeatedly attacks your competence, your brain begins to internalize those criticisms. You start doubting simple decisions. And when your confidence shrinks, their control grows. And once they convince you that you're not helpful, the final sign reveals how they monitor your entire life. 14. They constantly need to know where you are all the time. On the surface, it might look like concern. They just want to make sure you're safe. But over time, the questions become too frequent, too specific, too demanding. It shifts from care to surveillance. You go out with friends, within an hour you get messages like, "Where are you now? Send me a photo. Who are you with?" If you take too long to respond, they get irritated or accuse you of hiding something. You start feeling guilty for simply living your life. This isn't love, it's control wrapped in anxiety. But why does this type of monitoring feel so suffocating? Constant check-ins create a sense of being watched, even when no one is around. It conditions your behavior, making you second-guess every decision. Will they get upset if I go here? Should I tell them I'm doing this? Soon, you're adjusting your life around their reactions, instead of your own wants and needs. And that's the final piece of the emotional abuse pattern. When someone else's expectations become the map you use to navigate your entire day, emotional abuse rarely looks dramatic from the outside. There are no bruises, no shouting matches echoing through the walls. Instead, it shows up in quiet places, in the doubts you carry, the apologies you give too quickly, the version of yourself you've slowly shrunk into. If any of these signs felt familiar, remember this. Your feelings are valid. The confusion, the heaviness, the second guessing. None of that means you're broken. It means you've been surviving in an environment where your emotional reality wasn't respected. Awareness is the first step. Not to blame yourself, not to judge yourself, but to finally see the patterns that kept you small, tired, and unsure of your own worth. You deserve a relationship where communication is honest, love is steady, and your emotions are treated with respect. And recognizing these signs doesn't make you dramatic. It makes you awake. If this video made something click for you, you're not alone. A lot of people are walking through emotional abuse without having the words for it. So tell me in the comments, which sign stood out the most to you? Your story might help someone else feel less alone. And if you want more videos about healing, awareness, and understanding yourself on a deeper level, make sure to subscribe. This is just one part of a much bigger journey, and I'll be right here to walk it with you.